One more race to go to conclude our penultimate round of the championship season before we head to Karting on the 28th and the 29th of September. Here's your final starting grid of the weekend. It's race number 20, the Senior Max final. Vic Stevens starts from pole position alongside him with the championship leader, Jaden Ting. Ollie Yonkers and Macaulay Bishop will line up on row number 2. Svedek Lubin and Danny Shields, row 3. Sebastian Koch and Mika van der Pavel ran out row 4 ahead of Lawrence Herboz and Jot van Wyk. Lloyd Hare and Luca Coulin running at the top 12 ahead of Ralph van der Pavel, David Ottestein, Archie Bussell, Martin Gaiskins, Luca Prima, Zach Heslop, Jorge Martenstein and Debian Voss. Drivers now start getting into the 2x2 rolling start ahead of their race. It's going to be a very, very interesting and exciting adventure over 14 minutes plus an additional lap. The red lights are on the gantry. Out of the final corner we go. Lights out and racing. And a good start by Vic Stevens as Ollie Yonkers slots in behind. Svedek Lubin's already up to P3. The two Dan Holland racing teammates of Macaulay Bishop and Jaden Ting side by side. Someone goes slightly off track at turn number 2, but rejoins, and the lengthy queue has a Falcon Racing cut with the back end of it. That would be Ava Doddestein, I would believe. As the field makes its way up the hill towards Mudcover for the first time. So, at the moment, it is Vic Stevens, Ollie Yonkers, Svedek Lubin, Jaden Ting, Macaulay Bishop, is he up there? He is behind. Sebastian Koch, who's made up 2 places and is now up to 5th. Koch goes defensive on Macaulay Bishop, Lawrence Herboz, and a few others behind him. Jaden Ting got through on Svedek Lubin. Nice little move there by the Dutch driver. And moving up to seniors this year has been a little bit of a revelation for Jaden Ting. He's really, really made it work. Out of the final corner. And well, not at all surprising. Here's the move for the race lead. Ollie Yonkers through on Vic Stevens at turn 2, lap number 3. And he also put in the fastest lap of the race of 44.930. No one else on that previous tour managed to get the kart at under 55 seconds that early in the race lap, especially on the final. Stevens now looking to return the favour at the very same corner. Through at turn 2, goes to the 327. Back up front. However, Jaden Ting, I think, might have just decided to throw his 2 cents into the ring, and he got through Yonkers. Yonkers now down to 3rd. And there is Bishop, who's got past Svedek Lubin in the meantime. Gunning for at least the top 3, maybe even the win. So Vic Stevens leads from Jaden Team by just over 3/10. Top 10 and the outlaw Danny Shields. They're probably just around about 2.3 seconds. But the gap between Vic Stevens and our second place driver, Jaden Team, is coming down to about 3/10. Ollie Yonkers 5.5 of a second off the leader. Sven Evans, Sebastian Koch. At the front end of the field, things are still being decided. So everyone resting with the steering wheel of the 344 GJS carts. This is exactly what happens when drivers just start to try and pull away at this earlier stages of the race. And Bishop finds himself now having to fight back. When you consider how close the points were coming into this penultimate round of the season, you know, Jaden Team was there, Macaulay Bishop was there, and several others. They're into turn 5 once again. Go the drivers, and the back end of the field very much a freight train. So still, after 7 laps, Vic Stevens and Jaden Bean are giving each other chase. It's like ring the roses, a pocket full of posies. Sebastian Koch now up into 5th place. He's closing in on Macaulay Bishop for 4th, and then about 7 tenths ahead. I also have to contend with Ollie Yonkers. He wants that podium place on the end of the race day. Front end of the field, Jaden Teen is trying to put the frightness on Vic Stevens. That is going to be easier said than done. Just over the halfway point. William Rust has made that 5 places, make that 6 as he's got past Luca Gulen, Ralph Undercover, now up to P7, the driver with SR Solutions, having swapped and found a new lease of life when it comes to karting. So at the moment, the fastest lap of the race is being held by Macaulay Bishop. He's currently running 1.5 seconds behind the race leader. Also, Lawrence Herboz is coming into the mix with regards to a potential 5-way scrap for the win at the moment. It's just a 2-horse race with Stevens and Jaden Team trading times at the moment. Not faster than anybody else, but quick in their own right here at Kerpen. The leaders make their way through into the Schumacher S. And Vic Stevens is still holding on. He has not relinquished that lead quite yet. Jaden Teen might have something to say about it. Macaulay Bishop swarming all over the back bumper of Ollie Yonkers heading into turn number 3. On this particular occasion, Jaden Teen is looking a little bit closer than I've seen before for a handful of laps. There's all a little bit of a skirmish happening into turn number 2. Something that might have been a little bit of a touch between Macaulay Bishop and Ollie Yonkers, running 4th and 3rd respectively. And Bishop now has Lawrence Herbold for close company just behind through the left-hander at a speed of probably around about between 90 to 100 kph, depending on how your exit is. A change here. 367 overtakes 316. So Bishop again gets through on Yonkers, not for the first time this weekend. So 1st and 2nd are fighting, 3rd, 4th and 5th are fighting. And I think also 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 drivers out there, tending to be part of the Disney Brigade. So we have got one off of the circuit. And that was at turn number 2. So someone's had a bit of a drama in the meantime. I've got a feeling it could be Martin Gaskins, it could be Georgia Mugdenstein is still running. So Buttle and Gaskins looks to be nearly a lap down off of the leaders. So we head into the final 2 3/4 minutes. That is the 3:21. Martin Gaskins out on lap number 14. We're on lap 16 of this race. Still 2 minutes and 20 to go, plus an additional lap. Ollie Yonkers now finds himself in front of Lawrence Herbold. This is not going to be for a step on the podium, I'm afraid. It's going to be a step on top 5 that we had. Last time we were in some of the talking about figures and stuff. But it's still going to get a lot of, still get very hot and heated under the collar. It's the 316 of Ollie Yonkers being challenged by Lawrence Herbold in the 389. That was through turn 2. It's never going to be easy when you have to do it. Suits you the most, not necessarily suiting the opponents. How can I get past them? What's the best opportunity? I've been behind them for a multitude of laps. That is exactly what has happened. So it looks like we're going to hit a predictive 118 20 laps of this race, but in the meantime, Ollie Yonkers has lost out to Lawrence Herbold in the number 398. That's a battle for 4th position. you doing? Where are you racing? Where are you racing in? Steering goes, box. Two more laps remain. And Vic Stevens has a lead of just under 6/10 of a second ahead of Jaden Teen. Corey Bishop, who has got the fastest lap in his pocket, 44.714 for the Briton, based out of Hoddesdon, not too far outside of the hometown of seven-time Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton. So there is a penalty going the way of Archie Buttle, 5-minute time penalty, 5-second time penalty for causing the collision early doors. But last lap of the weekend underway here at Kerpen at the F-Landring for round 3 of BNL Karting Series 2024. Vic Stevens has remained very much untroubled despite the best efforts of Jaden Teen, who was half a second behind him. Now, they do say sometimes that strength is always in numbers. That's very much the case of Macaulay Bishop. He's just under 9/10 behind the race leader, but up through in towards Muckcover for the final time. It is going to be the case that Jaden Thiem, by my calculations, might still be leading the championship, but he's got a big contender on his radar. Vic Stevens takes the victory in the final. Second, Jaden Thiem. Third, Macaulay Bishop. Fourth, Lawrence Herboz. Sverre Ubben takes fifth, ahead of Ollie Jonkers. Sebastian Koch takes 7th, ahead of Ralph van der Pavert, who made up 5 places to round out the top 8, with Danny Shields and the UK's Lloyd Hare for Racing Evolution rounding out the top 10. Mika van der Pavert, Devian Rost, Luca Brima, Luca Knollen, Eva Dorrestein, Jot van Wijk, Zach Heslop and Giorgio Markenstein round out the 18 runners and riders, as does Archie Buttle, making it 19 that made the way to the finish, with Martin Gaiskens out with 7 laps to go.